Welcome. Today's lesson, Introduction to Vehicle Emissions. Most boring subject ever. Hydrocarbons, carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxide, PCV, EGR, EVAP, CAT, how they work, how they fail, how to test them, how to repair them. Most boring subject ever. We're going to need some motivation. Does that look like motivation to you? When, not if. When the check engine light comes on, guaranteed 100% it is emission related. Are you interested now? Did I motivate you? We call it the money light. When that check engine light comes on, we're gonna make some money. But you have to understand how these emission devices work. Are you ready to learn? Let's start with the 5 gases. The 5 gases: hydrocarbon, called HC, carbon monoxide, CO, nitrogen oxide, NOx, carbon dioxide, CO2, and oxygen, O2. Let me tell you about hydrocarbon. It's unburned gasoline. As in gasoline that's not burned. Same thing. Gasoline vapors coming from your fuel tank. The vapors from your fuel tank will be controlled by one of the emission control devices called the EVAP, short for Evaporative Emission Control System. More about hydrocarbons. They're poison. They're bad for the people. They're bad for the environment. And they're bad for your vehicle. It's easy to understand how poisons are bad for people. It's gonna kill you, dead, gone, and you ain't coming back. Hydrocarbons are bad for the people. That's easy to explain and understand. It's bad for the environment, kills plants, kills animals, pollutes the world. That's also an easy one to understand. How is it bad for your vehicle? Does anybody know that? Well, here, let me explain it to you. You see that rusted exhaust manifold? Yes, the heat had something to do with it, but most of that rust deterioration from that nice new exhaust manifold that turned so rusted comes from the poisons. The poisons are obviously bad for the people. The poisons are obviously bad for the world. And the poisons are bad for your vehicle. It deteriorates your engine. It deteriorates your fluids. Carbon monoxide, that's burnt gasoline, as in gasoline that has been burned. CO2 is also a poison. Same bads. It's bad for everybody. Our third poison is nitrogen oxide, NOx, sometimes called oxides of nitrogen. NOx is a byproduct of combustion, as the gas is created as a result of combustion. There it is. You see combustion on the screen. Intake, compression, power, exhaust. Intake, compression, power, exhaust. The orange is combustion. But if you look closely, all those little specks, those are the poisons. We don't want them. Is NOx bad? Hell yeah. It'll kill you. It'll screw the world. And poor car, poor horse, poor cars. Back to the 5 gases. We went over the 3 poisons: hydrocarbon, carbon monoxide, and nitrogen oxide. Our 4th gas is carbon dioxide, CO2, sometimes called the greenhouse gas. Is it bad? Sort of, kind of, maybe. It's been blamed for global warming, if you believe in the global warming. And the 5th gas that's coming from our vehicle is that good old oxygen we need. That's harmless. Let's change subjects just a little bit. We identified the 5 gases. Let us now identify the 3 sources, the 3 places that these gases come from. The first one is obvious. Yes, from the tailpipe. The three poisons and those other two gases are coming from the tailpipe. Poor world. We're polluting the world. We're poisoning the environment. We want to clean this up. It's awful sometimes, the exhaust gases. Folks do this on purpose. It's called rolling coal. To each their own, I suppose. Now, the next source, besides our tailpipe, pollution, poison is coming from the gas tank, as in raw fuel vapors. Who remembers that name of the raw fuel? Hydrocarbons. Very good. That is our second source of pollution, from the tailpipe, from the gas tank. Can you guess our third source? We're running out of ideas, aren't we? This one's a little harder. Can you guess our third source of pollution? Can you guess? It's called blow-by gases. That's the most untechnical term I've ever heard. Blow-by gases, sometimes called crankcase pressures. Here, let me show you. On the yellow arrow. The yellow arrow is pointing to the combustion chamber where combustion is taking place. This is where we get the energy to propel our vehicle. But the blue arrows, you see those blue arrows? Those blue arrows are pointing to gases that escape past the rings and the cylinder wall. Because of the imperfections, we're going to have blow-by gases. This is our third source. In the beginning, when we first started combustion with internal combustion engines, we had what was called a road draft tube. You see it? The yellow arrows. They're pointing to the road draft tube. This brings us to the PCV valve. Oh, wait a minute. That's the alarm. We've run out of time for this video. I hope I got your interest. I hope you come back. I hope you're going to use that check engine light moneymaker to get you motivated. Thank you.